So I think it's time to start recommending people to actually go ahead and start selling off some iPhones that you're probably not using anymore. Now, with the iPhone 6s and 7, I think these iPhones are pretty impactful and pretty important. But with the iOS 16 update, it really doesn't make too much sense to keep owning these iPhones for a crazy long period of time. And if you have the opportunity now, and or if you have like some sort of spare phone, or if you're sitting on these iPhones, and you're not doing anything with them, I would probably recommend selling these things off because you're going to be able to get the most amount of money you will be able to before the iPhone 14s come out. And there's still a lot of people who probably want to buy some phones like this for all sorts of different reasons. And you'll basically be able to get the most amount of income by selling them now. Now, I've said this so many times. I'm very, very sad that Apple went ahead and actually removed the iPhone 6s. I think it was a great phone, but the iPhone 7 more so. I think the iPhone 7 Plus is probably still worth keeping. But with this iPhone, it is a little bit getting into that dated standpoint, mostly because of that 2 gigabytes of RAM, I do understand, but because of iOS 16 and Apple not giving it to this phone, you're not only getting an outdated phone with the software, but you're also getting somewhat of an outdated body, the single camera setup, the pretty big bezels on the front. Even though the iPhone SE3 has the same type of design, it doesn't really help this design at all either. It's still a pretty decent phone though. Like if you wanted to keep it for another year, then by all means go for it. Keep it however long you want to. But if you want to maximize the amount of return you can get by reselling this device, and this is probably the first device I would recommend selling. But honestly, the one right above it is the iPhone 6. This is probably number one, to be honest. This device is not necessarily horrible anymore, but I think if you're not planning on upgrading your phone anytime soon, I would probably recommend updating this phone, to be honest. First of all, like I said before, the body of this thing, it's not severely outdated. It's very much in line with the iPhone 7, but because of its somewhat outdated chipset as well with the A9 chip, as well as the 2 gigabytes of RAM, you are also getting another somewhat outdated phone. And again, when I look at the resale prices of these two phones, I'm seeing that the iPhone, 6s and 7 are still going for pretty decent values online. So if you're planning on selling them, if we just look at the iPhone 7, for example, you're not going to get $300 or something from them, but you can still sell them for a pretty decent value. You can see they're still selling for about $100, usually a little bit less than that, as you can see, like $97. So I would probably recommend start selling these ones because very soon you're probably going to get to a point where they're probably going to be sold for maybe like $60, $50. So that's number one. But like I mentioned, because both these phones are going to be unsupported with software very soon, it may make a little bit more sense to go ahead and sell these phones now if you have a backup phone or if you plan on upgrading. If there's any trade-in values or anything like that as well, then I would probably recommend looking at those ones too. You may even want to keep them until the iPhone 14s come out as well, because if there's any trade-in values on those devices, you can go and trade in your phone and get maybe an iPhone 14, but the trade-in values haven't been crazy great. It's mostly if you have like a 2-year-old iPhone or a 3-year-old iPhone. With these types of devices, you're pretty much going to get maybe like $50 off or something, but sometimes there's some crazy ones too. So that's a little bit of an update on these devices. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.